Welcome to Proclaim, a presentation of the Catholic Diocese of Alexandria. Join us as we journey together through the Scriptures revealed to us by God.
Good morning and welcome to Proclaim. So as Jesus now has talked about his suffering, his death, clearly that was not an expectation of the Messiah, even though the Christian community would look back to the suffering servant passages in Isaiah and in retrospect see how they describe Jesus so well, but that was not something that people anticipated. In fact, the idea of a suffering Messiah was almost a contradiction in terms. So it's not surprising that when Jesus mentions this whole idea, not just his suffering, but also his resurrection, that it absolutely is beyond Peter. He doesn't know what to do with it. And so we find he spoke this openly. Then Peter took him aside and began to rebuke him. At this he turned around and looking at his disciples, rebuked Peter and said, "Get behind me, Satan. You are thinking not as God does, but as human beings do." It's interesting, in the Gospel of Mark, in the temptation at the beginning of Jesus' public life, we're told nothing of the details. We're just simply told that he was led out to the desert and was tempted. Matthew and Luke give a great deal of detail about what that temptation actually amounted to. And if you look at it closely, each of them describe it as a temptation for him to follow the popular Messiah route, not the one that the Father laid out for him. And so basically this is, in the Gospel of Mark, to some degree, a temptation, and it also is omitting something very significant about Peter.
This program was brought to you by Kramer Funeral Home.